Bluey might seem like just a simple kids show, but hidden beneath the fun are secrets most fans have never noticed. Chile's mom is one of Bluey's biggest mysteries. The show never says what happened to her, but there are clues hidden in the episodes. And when you put them together, the truth might be more heartbreaking than you think. Let's call Chile's mom Kate, just to make things easier. From what we see in the flashbacks, Kate passed away when Chile was very young. In the episode Dragon, Chile remembers her mom from when she was just a pup. The name Dragon might not be random. It could be a hidden clue. Some believe it symbolizes something strong but destructive, like a serious illness. Cancer, maybe. If that's the case, Kate might have been sick for a long time before she passed. Chile's dad, Mort, was in the military, which means he was probably away a lot. That could mean young Chile had to grow up fast, taking care of herself while her mom was unwell. And if Kate had cancer, there's a chance Chile saw her struggle with it, which could explain why she worries so much about her dad now. But here's where things get even sadder. If Chile's childhood was like this, it makes sense why she doesn't remember the first time she met Bandit. Maybe she had too much on her mind. Maybe she was just trying to get through each day. And maybe that's why Bluey never tells us what really happened. Because some things are too painful to say out loud. One of the saddest mysteries in Bluey is about the older sibling who was never born. It's clear from the episodes The Show and Onesies that Chile lost her first pup before having Bluey and Bingo. That's why they're called rainbow babies. But here's the question. What would their older brother's name have been? There are some clues hidden in the show. The Healer family seems to follow a pattern when it comes to names. Grandpa Bob, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo all start with B. Uncle Stripe and Uncle Rad don't follow this, but Chile clearly liked keeping the tradition. That means the lost pup's name likely started with B too. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Bluey's name isn't just a cute play on her breed. The letter Y at the end makes it sound smaller, almost like a nickname. What if that was intentional? What if Bluey's original name was meant to be just Blue? Think about it. Chile and Bandit might have already picked the name for their first pup. They could have even bought things with the letter B on them, expecting him to arrive. But when tragedy struck, they never got to use that name. Then, Bluey was born. Instead of picking something completely different, they might have added the Y to honor the pup they lost. Maybe that's why Bluey carries the name she does. A quiet reminder of the sibling she never met. A part of the family story that Bluey never fully explains. Mackenzie's mom didn't always look the way she does now. In the early episodes, she had a single spot on one side of her face, but in later seasons, spots appeared on both sides. So what happened? Some might think she dyed her fur, just like how people change their hair color. That's possible, but there's another explanation that makes even more sense. Since Bluey captures real-life issues, vitiligo could be the reason. One part of her fur is brown, and the other is white, with brown growing over time, just like how vitiligo affects skin in the real world. If that's true, then Bluey quietly added a real condition into the show, but they never talk about it. Maybe they don't want you to know. In the episode Double Babysitter, there's a small detail that most fans might not notice. A rugby ball stuck on the Healer family's roof. It appears in the scene where everyone is saying goodbye to Bandit and Chile. But here's the weird part. It's not Bandit's usual rugby ball. His ball has green and yellow stripes, while this one is just a plain orange rugby ball. So, where did it come from? One theory is that Bandit had an old rugby ball before getting his new one, and ended up losing both in the same way. But that seems unlikely, right? Well, there's one more clue hiding in another episode, Mum School. When Bluey and Chile are chatting outside, we can actually see where Bandit's ball went. It's sitting right on Lucky's family's roof. Looks like Bandit has a habit of launching balls onto rooftops. In the episode Double Babysitter, Bluey refuses to go to bed unless her parents are the ones tucking her in. At first, it just seems like she's being stubborn. But then we find out why. Her fear comes from something that happened with Nana Chris. According to Bluey, she got scared because her Nana was watching something on TV. Whatever it was, it must have really shaken her. And since Bluey is a family show, we don't see what is on the screen. But if it was bad enough to give Bluey nightmares, it was probably something creepy. Maybe it was a horror movie, but not just any horror movie, one that played on her worst fears. We've seen Bluey struggle with being alone in the dark before. Could Nana Chris have been watching something about a shadowy figure lurking in a forest? Or maybe something worse, like a lost child trying to find their way home? Bluey never tells us exactly what she saw, and neither does Nana Chris. It's almost like they don't want to talk about it, but the fear stuck with Bluey. It changed the way she sees bedtime. It made her afraid of sleeping without her parents close by. And the strangest part? We never find out what was on that TV screen. Maybe it's better that way, because if it was enough to scare Bluey that badly, imagine what it could do to us. Uncle Rad looks like a normal healer until you notice his fur. He isn't just red like Chile or blue like Bandit, he's both, half red, half blue. But here's the thing, both Grandpa Bob and Grandma Chris are blue healers, and genetically, two blue healers almost never have a red pup. So how did Rad end up like this? Since Bluey focuses on real life, the most logical answer comes down to recessive genes. Even though Rad's parents are blue healers, they could still carry the red gene without showing it. If both passed that hidden red gene down to Rad, it could explain why his fur is a mix of both colors. It's rare, but not impossible. But what if Rad has a different parent? Maybe there was another red healer in the picture at some point. It would explain why Rad's fur is split between both colors. It might also explain why Grandpa Bob is never around. If something happened in the past, maybe it caused a divide in the family. Maynard is one of those Bluey characters who doesn't appear much, but when he does, it's clear he's been around for a long time. He's close to Grandpa Mort, familiar with Bluey and Bingo, and seems like part of the family. But here's the weird part. Why was he at Frisky and Uncle Rad's wedding? Most of the guests were either family or close friends. Maynard doesn't seem to fit into either category. But what if he's more connected than we think? One possibility is that he's actually an old friend of Frisky. We know Frisky and Chile have been close for years, probably since childhood, and we also know Chile grew up around the same area where Maynard hangs out with Mort. It wouldn't be surprising if Maynard had known both of them for years. Maybe he was like an uncle figure to Frisky when she was younger. If that's the case, it makes sense for him to be there on her big day. But there's another theory. Maynard runs a gas station. Uncle Rad works on an oil rig. Could they have met through work? Maybe some fuel and oil-related event brought them together, and they became friends. It's a long shot, but whatever the reason, one thing's clear. Maynard isn't just some random guy. He has ties to the healer family, and those connections might go deeper than we realize. In the episode Dance Mode, the healer family turns the sidewalk into their own personal stage. We see Chile grooving past Wendy's car, Bandit getting into the rhythm, and Bluey showing off her best moves. But if you look closely, something strange happens in the background. Pat, ever the friendly neighbor, tells Bluey she's got some serious dance skills. But the second he speaks, Wendy's face changes, like she just heard something ridiculous. It's quick, but it's there, and it raises a big question. Why does Wendy look so annoyed? Maybe she secretly liked Bandit, and seeing him so happy with Chili stings? Or maybe there's some unspoken neighborhood drama we don't know about. Could be jealousy too, watching the healers laugh and dance while she sits in her car alone. Whatever the reason, Wendy's reaction speaks volumes. And if Bluey has taught us anything, it's that even the smallest details might hold a bigger story. Bandit always has a clever way with words, but when he calls Bluey and Bingo salad dodgers, it's not just some random joke. That phrase has a deeper meaning, one that ties all the way back to the very first time Bluey was ever shown on screen. In the original pilot episode, Bandit played a game called Salad Dodgers, which was all about getting kids to eat their veggies in a fun way. The pilot wasn't exactly like the Bluey we know today, but little details from it still sneak into the show every now and then. And those are just some of the details Bluey keeps tucked away. Who knows what else is hiding in plain sight? Bluey's animation is top-notch, but every now and then, something sneaks past the animators. Blink and you'll miss it. Like in the episode Cricket, Rusty is showing off his incredible skills, taking down every adult who dares to challenge him. Meanwhile, the moms are hanging out by the barbecue, chatting and preparing snacks. Everything looks normal until Chili calls the group over. For a split second, something weird happens. Chloe's mom is sitting with her back to Chili, just relaxing like everyone else. But look closely at the legs under her chair. Those aren't chair legs, they're her legs, but they're not where they're supposed to be. Somehow, they're sticking out from the middle of the chair as if she's fused with it. It's such a strange mistake that once you notice it, you can't stop seeing it. Either Chloe's mom has mastered the art of folding herself in half without anyone noticing, or something seriously glitched in the animation. Dalmatians may be flexible, but this is next level. In the episode The Claw, Bandit has a small but bizarre moment that doesn't quite add up. While playing with the kids, he accidentally knocks his right leg on the table and winces in pain. But then, when he reaches down, he grabs his left leg instead. Hold on, wasn't it the other one that got hurt? It's a blink and you miss it mistake. But things get even stranger at dinner. His right knee is bandaged, proving that was the real injury all along. So why did he mix them up? Was the pain so bad that he just grabbed the first leg he could reach? In the episode Dance Mode, the healer family is back at embarrassing themselves in public like it's a sport. Bluey, Bingo, and Chili are all dancing without music, and Bandit, as usual, can't help but make fun of them, but Chile reminds him that his turn is coming. Sure enough, when they stop at a store, Chile sees the perfect chance to strike. Just as Bandit is mid-conversation with the cashier, she activates dance mode. And that's when something very strange happens. Not with Bandit, but with someone in the background. Take a look at the tall dog standing behind them. When Chile triggers dance mode, he reacts, looking startled. That part makes sense, but watch his hand. He's holding an envelope, until suddenly he's not. It completely disappears, floats for a split second, and then reappears as if nothing happened. It looks like the envelope has a mind of its own. Maybe it wanted to dance too, or maybe the animators just missed a frame. In the episode Spy Game, something bizarre happens that makes Bandit seem faster than the speed of light. 1 second, he's inside the bathroom, patiently waiting for Bingo to finish. Next, he's outside by the barbecue, flipping sausages like he's been there the whole time. And before you can even process it, he's suddenly back inside, helping Bingo wash her hands. Either Bandit has mastered teleportation, or the animators accidentally placed him in 2 places at once. But that's not the only strange moment. Later on, when the barbecue catches fire, Mackenzie's dad casually walks right through the flames like it's nothing. Not only that, but the fire itself seems to shift positions, suddenly moving behind him instead of staying at the grill. Did the flames decide to relocate? Or did the animators scramble to fix the scene at the last second? In the episode Asparagus, Bandit is on a mission to teach Bluey some table manners, but she's not making it easy. She's talking with her mouth full, putting her elbows on the table, and doing everything except eating properly. Instead of scolding, Chile comes up with a game. She tells Bluey that the asparagus she doesn't want to eat is actually magic. With just a point of the asparagus, Bluey can turn anyone into an animal of her choice. And that's when things get wild. Bandit, Bingo, and Chile throw themselves into their new animal roles like they're in a full-blown theater production. Chile, in particular, takes things to another level. She doesn't just play along. At one point, she even goes after Lucky's dad, proving that when it comes to imagination, she's just as intense as Bandit. But in the middle of all this craziness, there's an animation mistake that's nearly impossible to catch. It happens when Bandit, Bingo, and Chile are turned into peacocks. Bandit, feeling fancy, starts showing off in front of Peacock Chile. He spins around dramatically, but something weird happens. For a split second, a dark patch appears on his belly, even though it's actually supposed to be on his back. It pops up out of nowhere and then vanishes just as quickly. If you weren't watching closely, you'd never notice. But once you do, it's impossible to ignore. It's almost like Bandit's colors glitched for a second, as if the animators mixed up his markings. Most animation errors are about things disappearing or clipping through objects, but this is like Bandit's fur pattern got confused for a second. In the episode Tickle Crabs, chaos takes over the healer house as Bandit tries to escape Bluey and Bingo's relentless attack. He runs into the kitchen, grabbing anything within reach to fight back. But that's when something strange happens. As Bandit swipes past a bunch of grapes, he throws an orange to slow them down, then another. But the second orange? It vanishes into thin air. No bounce, no roll. Just gone. 1 second it's flying through the air, the next it's like it never existed. Did the animators forget to finish the scene? Or did that orange have somewhere better to be? In the episode Burger Shop, Bandit is on a mission to teach Bluey and Bingo about responsibility. The plan? Running their own pretend burger shop. The problem? The girls are way more interested in splashing around in the bathtub than actually running their business. Every time Bandit tries to get things back on track, they come up with another excuse to keep playing. Before he knows it, even he's in the tub, completely giving up on his own lesson. That's when Chile takes one look at the mess and is not happy. She tells them all that enough is enough and she's going to fix this right now. Bandit, trying to explain himself, moves toward her, and that's when the mistake happens. Look closely at his head. Normally, he has 2 dark patches around his ears, like any good blue healer, but for a fraction of a second, one of them vanishes. Just like that, half of his markings disappear, making his face look completely off. Maybe Bandit was so shocked by Chile's reaction that even his fur pattern panicked. Whatever the case, it's a weird mistake in a scene that's already hilarious on its own. In the episode Dirt, Bluey and Bingo are having the time of their lives in a big pile of mud, but their neighbor, Judo, has a problem. She's a fluffy white chow chow, and her mom just spent the whole morning making sure her fur is perfectly clean. That means no dirt, no mud, nothing messy at all. Judo tries to join in, but it's tricky. Bluey and Bingo even try covering her in protective gear to keep her clean. But let's be real, what's the point of playing in mud if you can't get muddy? Judo eventually gives up, and her mom notices how sad she looks. That's when she walks over to comfort her. And right there, in that split second when she turns to sit down, something weird happens. Her tail clips right through the wooden step. It just disappears into the stairs like a glitch in a video game. If you blink, you'll miss notice it, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's a tiny mistake, but it stands out because Bluey is usually so smooth with its animation. Characters move naturally, and everything feels just right. But here, her tail breaks the rules of the world for a second. It's not the biggest mistake, but it's definitely one of those things you wouldn't expect from a show that pays so much attention to detail. In the episode Fairies, Bandit's attempt to make up for being rude to Bingo turns into pure chaos. Thanks to a mischievous fairy, Bingo gets frozen in place, stuck with her fingers on her nose, and the only way to break the spell, Bandit has to perform an Irish dance right in the middle of the yard for all the neighbors to see. So he does it. He kicks, spins, and gives it his all, while Bingo slowly removes her fingers from her nose, finally free from the curse. But if you slow things down, you'll catch an animation mistake that happens in the blink of an eye. First, as Bandit picks up Bingo and starts twirling her around, the dark fur around his eye suddenly glitches, turning into a lighter stripe for just a split second. Then, right when he finishes spinning her, his nose does something even weirder. It clips straight through Bingo's head, like a glitch in a video game. In the episode Bob Bilby, there's an animation mistake that sneaks right past most viewers. When the family is in the car, the girls are watching something on a tablet in the back seat. Chile takes a picture using the front camera, but somehow the flash from the rear camera goes off instead. This might not be the only mistake. Later, when Bingo is riding her bike, we get a close-up shot of her face. And here's where things go wrong. Her usual darker fur around her eyes? Completely gone. It's like someone forgot to include that detail in this one frame. For a second, she looks totally different, almost like a Bingo lookalike instead of the real one. In the episode Magic Xylophone, Bluey and Bingo have a blast freezing Bandit in the middle of the garden, stacking toys and stuffed animals all over him. When they finally unfreeze him, he shakes them off and the ground is completely covered in plushies. But then, something strange happens. A little while later, Bluey and Bandit come back to the same spot, but all the toys? Gone. Not a single stuffed animal was left behind. It's like they vanished into thin air. Knowing Bluey and Bingo, there's no way they suddenly decided to clean up that fast. And even if they did, when did they have the time? Either those toys cleaned themselves up, or the animators forgot to put them back. If these tiny mistakes made it in, imagine what else could be hiding in plain sight. Over the years, the creators have carefully dropped clues about a family member we've never seen. A brother Bluey and Bingo never met. And the first hint comes in an episode called Unicourse. The Healer family is looking through old photos, and one stands out, a picture of Chile enjoying her honeymoon in front of Sydney Harbour Bridge. It looks like just another vacation snapshot at first, but take a closer look at Chile's appearance. Her figure looks different. There's a noticeable roundness to her belly, something that suggests she was expecting long before Bluey or Bingo came along. What's even more interesting is that this photo was taken years before Bluey was born, because the timing doesn't match up with either Bluey's or Bingo's birth, which hints at something much deeper in the story. This wasn't just a simple trip. They were about to welcome a child. If you look closely at the wedding photos, you'll notice something else. Bandit's fur looks different. In the wedding photos, he has the signature tufts of fur on his cheeks, signs of youth and vitality. But by the time Bluey comes along, those tufts are much thinner. This wasn't an accident. It's a deliberate choice by the creators to show the passage of time. And then there's Chile. Her coat changes too. This clearly shows how much time has passed since the loss of their first baby before they conceived Bluey. Her coat becomes fuller, and in certain photos, her face reflects a sadness, a distant look. Fans have speculated that these are signs of a loss the healers experienced, something that they've never spoken about directly, but is there in the background of their lives. When we see Chile and Bandit in those early days, their lives are filled with hope. But as time passes, it's clear that something tragic happened before Bluey and Bingo arrived. These clues, though subtle, speak to a deeper layer of the Healer family's story, one of heartache, resilience, and the unspoken bond they share. The most powerful clue about the Healer family's hidden story comes in an episode that, at first glance, seems like a simple Mother's Day celebration, but what unfolds is one of the most emotional moments in the entire series. The episode, The Show, starts off lighthearted. Bluey and Bingo decide to put on a homemade show for Mother's Day, reenacting their parents' love story. They bounce around excitedly, acting out the moments of how Bandit and Chile met at a party in London, their backpacking adventure, and Bandit's heartfelt proposal. They end with the joyful memory of their wedding day. The atmosphere is filled with joy and innocence, just like any playful family moment in Bluey. But then, something changes. In the middle of their act, Bluey and Bingo introduce a scene where Chile is shown with a baby in her belly. Just as they do, the balloon they're using suddenly pops. That's when things take a sudden, unexpected turn. The camera focuses on Bandit and Chile's faces, and we can see it. Something shifts. The joy fades for just a moment, replaced by a subtle yet undeniable wait. Bandit reaches out and takes Chile's hand in a silent gesture that speaks volumes. It's brief, but it shows us something about their unspoken bond and shared experience that we hadn't fully understood before. This moment, while fleeting, reveals a deeper layer of the Healer family's past. It's not just a random occurrence. The balloon pop acts as a trigger, reminding them of a painful memory they carry quietly, a loss that they haven't fully come to terms with. In future episodes, the impact of this moment echoes throughout. We see Chile's eyes grow distant at times, her emotions slipping through during ordinary moments. Bandit, too, shows a quieter side, his usual playful nature replaced by brief moments of reflection. In the episode Baby Race, we see Chile surrounded by other new mothers and their babies, all of them comparing milestones. The focus is on Chile, and it's clear she's carrying more than just the weight of parenting. Chile, like many mothers who have experienced pregnancy loss, carries an invisible burden. Even though it's never her fault, there's an overwhelming sense of guilt that follows, especially when she sees other mothers celebrating their babies' milestones. In this episode, that guilt plays out when Chile becomes fixated on Bluey's development. She's worried that Bluey isn't meeting milestones the way she's supposed to, and this self-imposed pressure starts to mirror the emotions Chile might have felt during the loss of her first child. As Chile begins to doubt herself and question whether she's doing enough for Bluey, it highlights the deep, emotional impact of her past experience. It's more than just about baby milestones. It's a reflection of unresolved pain and an attempt to measure up to what's expected, all while navigating the grief of a past loss. But then, in the episode Rain, we witness a moment that stands out in the entire series, a stunning double rainbow. This rare sight happens just after Bluey and Chile work together to get through a storm. At first, it may seem like just a beautiful ending to a stormy day, but when you look deeper, it carries a much more powerful message. The concept of a rainbow baby is key here. It's a term used for a child born after a family has faced loss. Much like how a rainbow appears after the storm clears, these children symbolize hope, healing, and the joy that follows a dark period. When Chile stands with her arm around Bluey under that double rainbow, it's more than just a sweet mother-daughter moment. The rainbow doesn't just mark the end of the storm, but also symbolizes their strength and the new chapter they've entered together. One where healing is possible and love continues to grow. Now, the episode Sleepy Time might seem like a charming dream sequence about Bingo's cosmic adventure through space, but there's so much more beneath the surface. The whole episode works as a space-themed metaphor. Chile is shown as the sun, the center of her children's world, giving them life and warmth. Bluey travels from Venus, the second planet from the sun, while Bingo's journey takes place on Earth, the third planet. But what's most interesting is what's missing. Mercury, the closest planet to the sun, doesn't appear at all. This isn't an accident. The absence of Mercury is a hint about the Healer family's first child, the one they lost before Bluey and Bingo. The most emotional moment of the episode comes when Chile says,
"I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me, because I love you."
On the surface, it seems like a comforting message for Bingo in her dream, but it's a message from Chile to all her children, including the one who didn't make it. It's a promise of love that goes beyond the physical world and time, showing how the family's love remains even in the face of loss. In Season 3, Bluey finally got her own room, marking a big milestone in her life. While moving things around, Chile discovered an old crib, and in that moment, we saw a rare glimpse of her emotions. As she stared at the crib, Chile said, "It was your first bed," and it seemed like a simple, nostalgic memory. But some fans noticed something more hidden beneath the surface. The way Chile reacted wasn't just about remembering Bluey's baby days. Seeing that crib again likely stirred up those unspoken feelings, making Bluey's new chapter bittersweet for her. If Bluey really is a rainbow baby, this scene becomes much more meaningful. It's not just about Bluey growing up. It's about Chile remembering a part of her past that she hasn't openly talked about, a part of her that shaped their family's journey in ways they may never fully express. Understanding the hidden history behind the Healer family changes how we see their journey. What seemed like simple character moments at first now hold a much deeper meaning. Things like Chile gazing at her daughters with teary eyes, or Bandit's occasional silence aren't just random emotions. They offer us a glimpse into the minds of two parents who have faced loss and joy in equal measure. Take Chile's protective nature, for example. In episodes like Bike, where she struggles to let Bluey fail, it might seem like typical parenting at first. But when you look at it through the lens of their past, you see that it goes deeper. Chile hesitating to let Bluey face challenges on her own is about more than just concern. It's about protecting her from pain and failure, rooted in her own fears. When she finally steps back and allows Bluey to grow through those struggles, it isn't just about being a parent. It's about overcoming her own emotional barriers and trusting that her family can move forward despite the hardships. Then there's Bandit. His dedication to being there for his daughters, no matter how tired or dirty from work, takes on a whole new meaning. His involvement in their lives isn't just about having fun or playing games. It's about cherishing every moment. He knows how easily time can slip away, and he's determined to make the most of each second with his children. His commitment to family time comes from a place of wisdom and appreciation that comes from understanding life's fleeting nature. But the episode The Show gives another powerful insight into how the healers have coped with their experience. When Bingo repeats Chile's words,
Cry, check, pick myself up, check, dust myself off, check, and keep going. The show must go on.
it's not just some casual advice, it's a reflection of the strength they've built as a family. That phrase carries the weight of everything they've gone through. It's how they've learned to face life's difficulties with grace and resilience. It's a reminder that while the healers have had to endure pain, they've used those tough moments to teach their children how to stay strong in the face of adversity. As the series continues, we see moments where Chile is unexpectedly emotional, even crying at times. Bandit too gets lost in thought or stares off into space, sometimes without an explanation. But with an understanding of their past, these emotional pauses suddenly make sense. They're not just random moments, they're reflections of a family that's processing grief and finding healing together. Each emotional moment builds the story of how the healers navigate life, constantly teaching us about love, resilience, and the importance of being present with those we care about. And that's a look at the powerful lessons from Bluey's family. It all starts with the episode Camping. Bluey meets Jean-Luc, a kind and adventurous French pup. They don't speak the same language, but that doesn't matter. They plant trees together, they build stick houses, they chase wild animals through the trees. It's the kind of friendship feels like it will last forever, but forever doesn't come. One morning, Bluey wakes up and Jean-Luc is gone. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. She doesn't understand and asks her mom why this happened. Her mom, with that soft, knowing voice, tells her,
Sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go.
first, it's just about friendship, just about change. But looking back, those words feel heavier because this moment isn't just about losing a friend. It's about something much bigger. Bluey's mom is teaching her and even dropping a hint for us. That's something that stays long after the episode ends. People leave, even Bluey, sometimes without warning, sometimes forever. This is the first time Bluey experiences loss. A small one, yes, but one that plants a seed. Because one day, Bluey will face a goodbye she can't come back from. One day, Bluey herself won't be here. Even in the episode, the dump, Bluey, Bingo, and Dad head out for what seems like a normal trip. But in the middle of tossing out some old boxes, something unexpected happens. A single sheet of paper slips from Dad's hands, fluttering down among the trash. Bluey picks it up and freezes. It's a drawing of herself. Her voice is quiet when she asks,
You're throwing away Bluey.
Dad, caught off guard, quickly shakes his head.
Any drawings you throw in this dump get mushed up and turned into new paper.
But to Bluey, feels different. Seeing her own image lying there, tossed aside with the scraps, makes her stomach twist. It isn't just a picture, it's her. And now, she's in the trash. Dad explains that the paper isn't disappearing. It will be turned into something new. It's not lost, it's changing. He says it so simply, like it's just about recycling. But the way Bluey stares at the paper says otherwise. It means more. To some, this moment feels like something bigger, like Bluey is realizing, maybe for the first time, that nothing stays forever. The idea of being thrown away, of becoming something else, is more than just a lesson in repurposing. It's a quiet echo of something deeper, of life, of endings, of what comes next. Does change mean disappearing? If something stops being what it was, is it really gone? After all, it was about loss itself, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being here anymore. Some see this as a quiet foreshadowing of Bluey's own fate, a moment that suggests in the gentlest way possible that nothing lasts forever, that even she will one day be part of the cycle. But instead of leaving her with sadness, Dad offers a different way to see it. Nothing is ever truly gone. It just changes, like the paper in the recycling bin, like memories that never fade, even when the people do. This leads us to the episode where everything makes sense. In the episode, Flat Pack, Bandit and Chile struggle with instructions, trying to put together their porch swing. Bluey and Bingo, meanwhile, use the leftover boxes to create their own world. First, it's just simple play, but as they build, their game becomes something deeper. It starts to look a lot like life itself. First, they crawl like tiny creatures. Then, they learn to walk. Soon, they build homes, families, and entire cities. What starts as a pile of boxes turns into an entire civilization. Time moves fast. Life moves forward. Everything grows, changes, and evolves. Bandit and Chile's story runs alongside theirs. They are building too, not just furniture, but a life. The episode moves between both worlds, showing how everything follows the same pattern. Parents build, children grow, and one day, those children move on. But then, something shifts. Bluey, now playing the role of a mother, watches over Bingo, her child. She teaches, guides, and protects, just like her own parents do for her. But before long, Bingo is ready to leave.
Look, Mom, I built a spaceship to go and explore space.
Bluey smiles, but there's something different in her voice.
Oh, you're always such a clever thing.
It's a phrase we've heard Chile say before. Phrase full of love.
Bye, Mom. Thanks for looking after me.
And just like that, Bluey is alone. She sits quietly, holding her cardboard cane. The world she built is empty now. Everything she made, everything she nurtured, it's all moving forward without her. That's when she looks up to hear a voice from above. It's Chile.
Hey! Up here.
But something about him feels different. She isn't just her mom anymore. She and Bandit stand above, watching, waiting. She takes a step forward. The world around her starts to fade. The cardboard, the game, the past, it all drifts away. The only thing left is light, soft, warm, endless light. And then, a hand reaches out. Not Bandit's, not Chile's, something else, something greater. The hand lifts her, guides her, takes her beyond. And then, peace. The scene changes. Bluey, Bandit and Chile sit together on the finished porch swing. The sky glows golden. The wind is soft. The world is quiet. They sit there side by side, looking out at something endless.
This is heaven.
This is not their home. This is something more. Some believe this moment is a quiet hint, a gentle way of showing what happens next, that Bluey's journey, like all journeys, must one day come to an end. But endings are not the end. She is not lost. She is not alone. She has simply gone home. And in that home, there is no fear, no sadness, no goodbye, just love, just eternity. But don't form conclusions just now. The lesson in the episode Flat Pack goes beyond just life and death. It carries something even greater, the reassurance that no matter what happens, nothing is ever truly lost. At first, it seems like a simple metaphor for growing up. Bluey plays through the stages of life, from crawling to walking, to building, to creating her own family. She guides Bingo, just as her parents guided her. And then, when the time comes, she lets go. That alone is already a powerful message about the passage of time. But the real weight of the episode is in what happens after. When Bluey, now older, stands alone, the game shifts. The cardboard world she built fades into the background, and suddenly, she isn't playing anymore. She is going somewhere. Chile's hand, reaching down, is more than just a parent helping a child. It mirrors something deeper, something almost spiritual. It's a moment that resembles moving beyond life itself, taking that final step into the unknown. But there's no fear in Bluey's face, only trust. This moment suggests something many people wonder about. What happens when we leave this world? Is it truly an end, or is it just a new beginning? If the episode Camping taught us that relationships leave lasting marks, and the episode The Dump showed that nothing is wasted, the episode Flat Pack ties it all together. Everything changes, but nothing disappears. People we love, the moments we cherish, don't just vanish. They become something else. Bluey doesn't walk alone. Bandit and Chile, who started as parents in the background, now feel like something greater, guiding forces, watching over her journey. They are always there, always leading her forward. The episode suggests that even when someone is gone, they are never truly absent. They continue to shape us, to guide us, to be part of us. In this way, the episode doesn't just explore the idea of life after death, it shows the comfort in it, the way love lasts beyond time, the way every step we take is connected to something greater. If the episode ended here, it would feel heartbreaking, but it doesn't. Instead, we are left with something else. Hope. Bluey stepping into the light isn't just about an ending, it's about a transformation. The same way the paper in the episode The Dump gets turned into something new, or the same way Jean-Luc's friendship with Bluey still means something even after he leaves. It's a reminder that nothing is final. Even though we grow, change, and move forward, everything we've built, everything we've loved, continues in some form. Flatpack isn't just about the sadness of saying goodbye. It's about the beauty of knowing that nothing and no one is ever truly gone. So, what's your opinion? Was this just a playful adventure or something much bigger? Either way, it left us with a lesson we won't forget. See you in the next video.